Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PL podcast. Today, we will be discussing about the much talked about and recently debuted IPO Gala Precision Engineering. So, before we start, I would quickly highlight on the company. Gala Precision Engineering is the precision component manufacturer company manufacturing technical springs, specialized fastening solutions. They are catering to three divisions, DSS, which is disc coil springs, then CSS, which is coil and spiral springs. Then we got SFS, specialized fastening solutions. The company is catering to the large array of global OEM customers, tier one customers. The user industries include the wind sector, where they are catering to wind turbines and a few other categories. The second category of user industries includes automotive sector, railways, industrial sectors. So before we begin, I have with me today to speak in length, in detail on Gala's Precision Engineering. We got the management team of Gala Precision Engineering. But again, before introducing the management, I would like to highlight that the IPO got a phenomenal response, more than 23,000 crore beats, more than 200x subscription, got listed with more than 40% premium yesterday. And on the top of it, just to check the facts and numbers from the sources, eighth most subscribed IPO since 2007, and the most subscribed IPO of 2025, FY25. So phenomenal success. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the management team for this success and the story which they have. Before I start, I would like to introduce the management. We got Mr. Kirit Gala, the promoter of the company, CMD, with us. He's a mechanical engineer from University of Mumbai, MBA from University of Mumbai. Mainly foresees the business strategies and have been the core of the company, spearheading the strategic marketing for the company. Welcome, Mr. Gala, today on this podcast.
Thank
Then
you,
we
Amit.
got yeah. Then we got
Very
Mr.
happy.
Yeah, yes, sir. We got Mr. Balakrishna Jalan. He's the executive director of the company, a chartered accountant by qualification, recipient of SAF ACE Excellence Award. He's spearheading and overseeing the whole excellence at the company and has been core part of the whole operations team. Welcome, Mr. Jalan, for the podcast today, and looking forward to hear great deals from you in terms of how the operations of the business is doing. We got Mr. Satish Kotwani. He's spearheading the global marketing and business development of the company. Mr. Kotwani is the whole-time director of the company. He's associated with the company since incorporation, just like Mr. Jalan. He's also with the company since incorporation. So welcome you all, first of all, for this podcast. And I would be discussing in length with all of you, as many of the viewers are curious to know about the success of Gala Engineering and how it is, performing at the core of the company. So, uh, first of all, I'll start with Mr. Kirit Gala. So, sir, if you could tell us about how it started, how has been the journey in this 30 years, and how you spread this company till today, till IPO. Yeah.
Sure. So I have been a second generation entrepreneur. This organization was started by my father and my uncle And after completing my studies, I joined in 1989 approximately. It was a very small company. And in 1995, me and my father decided to buy out uncle's stake and, almost wholly own the company. And,
Right.
uh, and then we were very aggressive on growing it because there were several opportunities within India and outside India as well. In fact, we started looking at global markets from the very beginning because that was the flair of, my own passion. Now, look, in 2005, we were invested by a private equity. It was called India Value Fund at that time. Now it is called True North. And they came in at a stage where we were doing very well and in leadership position in one or two niche markets in India and ready to go global in those. We had already tested the
Right.
waters in Europe, particularly, customer response was good. So this was the stage they came in. We grew by three times, by 3x in 4.5 years once they invested. And we exited one of our businesses, which was making compressor valves. So if you look at industrial compressors or refrigeration or air conditioning compressors or even car AC, so we became number one in India and we became a major global player in that niche market. So this division was acquired by a company called Horbiger, which was number one in the world for compressor valves. So they kind of, you know, bought this out as special, particularly competitive forces and maybe strengthening their position in India. We gave profitable return to private equity. They exited from this business simultaneously. So, and after that, we have been focusing on springs. In last 6 years, we have added fasteners, and the journey has been excellent so far.
Quite inspiring. Uh, Sir, we wanted to understand what is the core DNA which you have developed over this year, which is at the core of the company while you are spearheading all these divisions, which I'll talk in the subsequent questions. So what has been the core which you have developed?
I think,
Yeah.
in a soft sense, core DNA has been passion for excellence. We really love what we do. Now, how do you quantify this DNA? So,
Right,
we have that passion for excellence for microns. That is how we call ourselves. We
right,
love to compete with, German or European engineering companies,
right,
develop products which are either import substitute in India or have to be exported, and we match the quality of European companies. And this is what our whole organization is. So in fact, many European customers, when they visit Gala in India, they compliment us saying that this is equivalent to any global plant here. So that
yeah.
was kind of these kind of compliments we get, and we really get honored in this world class customers we have. So this is what we do.
Right. So now coming to Mr. Jalan, sir, you have been associated with the company since inception, and 30 years is a big deal to work at operations. You have been qualified chartered accountant getting into operations, and it requires tremendous passion also to take that call. So, wanted to understand from you about the business segment and what is so important with respect to operations when you deal with the global customers. So, some sense on that.
Sure. I just continue with the what Kirit by say is that passion is required for this such type of precision engineering and taking the company to a global level and serving to a Maruvi customer like ABB,
Yeah,
Vestas and all. So I call many of the time myself as a my profession I'm chartered accountant, but by passion I'm engineer.
right,
So that's the something which transformed my life, particularly in that period, almost a 25 years back. Yes, we do need to do this passion, but at the same time, we need to translate it into a reality. And for that, as Kate mentioned, the micro precision comes into picture when we talk about the precision engineering. So, like in the, we have three segments: disc spring, coil spring, and fastener. And disc spring, there is again we follow German standard. There is the DIN standard. and we have to meet the requirements of the standard requirement of the customer. To start from the inquiry stage, they select Gala when they see there is that type of precision engineering knowledge, expertise, process, systems are there, that type of capability management is there, and then only they select Gala for this type of precision engineering component, whether it is spring or coil spring. Similar, but for coil spring again, we serve to the market where there is a precision engineering or the microns accuracy required, where so again, coil spring, a lot of applications are there where the criticality is less, but we always consider high critical applications like clutch and fuel injection, where again precision engineer springs required, where we need to do a lot of value addition in terms of grinding and scragging, and we
Right.
need to achieve very tight tolerances of parallelism perpendicular. Same way for the fastener, the third division, a lot of fastener applications are there. But again, we selected niche application where high tensile, higher sizes of the fasteners, where the quality or the specs are really very, very tight. So we have to do a thread rolling on the hard material rather than doing a first thread rolling and doing the heat treatment. So these are the precision engineering goes in each and every segment and each and every vertical, each and every product. Most important in operation is not only is developing first time right or making customer success, but repeatedly we have to seek each and every component which produce,
Yeah.
they produce right and supply the right quality to the customer. So for that, we have to put a lot of efforts in not only developing the system, but continually working in improving the system. Cost is the second parameter. We have to continue work on the lean manufacturing, semi-automation, and keep on improving the cost and get the better and better margin by operation.
Right. So if you could, that is amazing. I think very few companies are moving in that direction where there's a lot of focus on excellence, operational excellence, and precision. So if you could just highlight on the current fundraise, which we assume part of it was for CapEx. So, and second, would like to know about the contribution and which will be the high growth segment from all three segments and the current capacities and CapEx where it is going to be utilized. If you could highlight the growth.
Sure. So
Yeah.
basically, this IPO size is at upper cap, it was a 529 price at 168, and we able to raise the equity on upper cap of 529, and we raised
Right.
168 crore. Out of this, 20% only is for toward the offer for sale, and 80% the major equity is coming into the against the fresh equity, which is approximately 135 crore. After taking out the issue expenses and all, we will be remaining approximately 120 crore something. So mainly our first object of the issue is for deploying the 37 crore into our new facility, which is coming up at Chennai, Vallam, Vadkalam, Sipcot. So there is a total capex requirement of 48 crore. Out of that, 10 crore already deployed till June 24. Land building work is almost near to the completion. A few number of machines, and remaining 37 equity which we have raised recently. Uh, we are targeting to make it this operational by FY25, last quarter of FY25.
Okay.
Overall, at the peak, the capacity will be 110, 120 crore, and we target to achieve this number in FY27. The second object of the issue is deploying the 11 crore, approximately 11 crore in our present existing facilities at Vada, in where we are producing all the three segment products like disc spring, coil spring, and fastener. This 11 crore will result into approximately 40 to 50 crore additional capacity, which will be utilized in FY26. Third object is for repayment of the loans. Approximately 46 crore will be utilizing for repayment of the loan, and my loan book will reduce from 55, 56 crore to less than a 10 crore going forward, which will result into a interest cost saving and improve the profitability PAT and all. And some fund we are keeping in the general corpus, which will be utilized for market development, product development, or some contingency for the capex. This is how broadly we plan. As far
Right.
as the margin is concerned, broadly, if you see my historical data, we able to achieve a 25% CAGR profitability EBITDA level
Right.
of approximately 18 to 20% range. Last year we achieved around 20%.
Yeah.
Going forward, across the segment, across the customer, across the market, there will be a mixed margin. In some case, there will be higher, some case slightly lower than the average, but more or less we will be able to maintain a bit of 18 to 20% going forward.
Fantastic. Great. So just to highlight to our viewers, I think FY24 we did 204 crore revenue and we did about 19% margins and roughly about 24 crore PAT, if I am correct. And
Correct.
I think BSS, this spring was about 55-60% contribution. I think fastening solution was about 18-19% and 23% from coil spring solution. Now, coming to Mr. Satish Kotwani, who is actually uh, spearheading and dealing with the global customers. So, Mr. Kotwani, we want to understand from you, uh, first of all, since we are spearheading in fastening solution, if you could tell us the important customers where this demand is coming and overall across segments, how important it is, to deal with this customers in terms of quality. So some sense you can get us with respect to demand and the kind of customers which we are catering. Yeah.
Sure, Amit. So I think basically, Amit, we are very clear in Gala that what markets and industry segments we want to focus. So as a strategy, of course, we are looking to grow our business in mainly three regions globally, which is India, Europe, and US as the markets. And of course, we are very focused on the end industry segment. So we are targeting renewable, industrial, and mobility as the sectors.
Right.
Within renewable, I think our major business currently is for wind turbine, but we also have presence already in hydro applications, hydro power plants. Within industrial, we are focusing more on electrical, off-highway equipment, fastener distributors, and general engineering. And this business also has been consistently growing. Within mobility, I think currently we are mainly focusing on automotive tier one companies, but also a lot of focus, particularly in last 2-3 years, on particularly railway segment. So in railway, we are targeting mainly India market today. A lot of focus on the precision engineered products in springs and fasteners. And particularly for high-speed trains, metro application, where a lot of multinational companies are coming and offering the systems, we are becoming their source for these critical precision engineered components. As far as the fasteners is concerned, though, as you know, this spring has been the oldest business we have been doing for more than 30 years, mainly catering all the three segments. And we started fasteners with renewable energy wind turbine, but there's a very good cross-selling opportunity for our fastener business, including the new products which we are launching in
Right.
Chennai plant. And technically, we are seeing a lot of cross-selling opportunity with our dispring customers in India as well as the global level. And fastener market is much larger than dispring. That gives really big advantage to Gala. But of course, we are not getting into commodities anywhere. We'll be focusing on value addition, precision, and of course, keep competing with Europeans or German producer, even in fastener category, even in India, Europe, and US markets.
Right. So could you highlight us the name of the key customers across segment and
Yeah.
how it's been the export contribution overall and segment wise? Any color and how it is growing? Yeah.
Sure. So export has been contributing about 35 to 39% of our sales since last 3-4 years. Normally, whenever we develop any new product, initially we start with India market. We stabilize quality, of course, supply chain, delivery performance, everything with these customers in India, and then go to the customers at global level. Whenever we get any approvals, even in India, it is the global approval from quality perspective. So audits are very stringent from these customers. And once we are approved, then initially we start with India and they are ready to take us to global in 6 months to 1 year time. As far as the customers are concerned, of course, we are working with quite marquee customers in all the segments. In renewable energy, we are working with customers like Vestas, Senvion, GE Vernova,
Yeah.
Enercon, Nordex. These are all global customers. And we supply to them in India, of course, but we supply to them at the global level. For example, Vestas, we supply to them in Europe, Brazil, US markets. ABB, which is our customer in industrial segment, where we supply them to Europe, China, India, and now we are going to start them in US as well. In industrial segment, we are mainly focusing on electrical, where we have customers like ABB, Siemens, Schneider, L&T, Legrand. These are our customers, and we supply them in India and global. In mobility sector, we are mainly focusing on automotive tier one. As Jalan mentioned, we are supplying to transmission companies like Schaeffler, ZF, Valeo. Also in the brake segment like Brembo, Endurance are our customers.
Right.
And mobility is purely railway apart from automotive.
Right. Great, great. Mr. Gala, so now I was seeing that we have started with DSS 30 years back, and we actually expanded our business into CSS, and now we are talking about expansion in SFS. So how strategically these thoughts came, and now what is the vision of the company in terms of growth? And see, since there's a lot of talk about renewables globally, locally, and we entered into SFS. So any thought you would like to give before this happened with the business, this diversification which happened? Yeah.
Sure. So we have been a niche market player for quite some time. So what we always do is we develop a product for the critical applications first in India. Once it is established in India, we take it normally to Europe. Sometimes, of course, we have gone to China to market our products against some German competition. But
Right.
that has happened in all the product groups. But now coming back, so from this spring, we moved to coil springs because the market sizes were much larger. Now,
Right.
coil spring, we also moved to fasteners because fastener market size is 100 billion, which is 80 to 90,000 crores today. So we are moving up the value chain in terms of market size,
Increasing this. Yeah.
size of opportunity. So the scalability will be much faster. So the same competency of precision engineering when applied to larger markets, what we are doing is we are trying to find out the niches and the application areas which are critical, but the opportunity sizes are much larger. So I think this is how we are going to grow, keeping the precision engineering as a core. And in future, I am not, I'm really open to look at other opportunities in precision engineering because
Right.
if and which should normally contribute to sustainability. And that's the kind of business model we are looking at.
Right. Sir, anything on the domestic front? Since we are supplying fasteners to global OEMs, which is a very big feat, and we are talking that domestic market is also very conductive with respect to policies. So, any thought that we'll be looking for as a strategy to penetrate deeper also into domestic market? Any thought there?
Yeah, I think as we scale up, we are going to maintain this ratio of around 40% export, 60% domestic. And domestic market is so promising that we can sustain that ratio even at a faster growth rate. For example, if I give you example of say fasteners, the growth rate in India for fastener business and the market is 18%, which is unparalleled to anywhere in the world. So yeah, I mean it is obvious that domestic is our core business, and we are so used to doing that customers and markets in India and manufacturing in India that is always going to be our preference.
Right. So now you have been dealing with the global players, which is highly commendable. Any challenges or anything we learned as a journey, which helped us even improve better, and now we can say that we can compete with even bigger players in global domestic market. So anything which you would like to highlight on that front? Yeah.
So, okay, I will start answering, but I think Jalan and Satish can elaborate
So
this.
maybe Mr. Jalan can chip in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to say that
Yeah.
we have been extremely customer oriented.
Right.
And what does that mean? One, of course, that one end it means completely satisfying or delighting
Right.
the customer. But at the other end, it also means a lot of learning from customers. And
Right.
customers have been so kind, and they have been multinational, but they have always been very supportive in our own learning curve.
Right.
Because when they see the cost advantage, when they see a very good supplier coming up in country like India, developing country, so they are very cooperative. So I think it has been a two-way process, and we have learned a lot. So, but of course, I'm sure some challenges, etc. I think Satish or Jalan can take
Yeah,
up.
so I'll then speak as to Mr. Jalan. So Mr. Jalan can highlight two things. One is the answer to the previous question, and I would like to also understand. We have been talking a lot about in-house R&D. You can highlight that what is the criticality, and we have been talking about the moat when we first get the lead and till we finally supply the product. So you can actually highlight both of these things also, Satish.
Sure. So all these questions, in fact, is a core interrelated to each other. And let me start with the Kirit Gala, what he said. So
Yeah,
basically, the precision engineering where customer approach Gala, considering the Gala's capability of developing any precision engineering parts and the
right,
capability to supply these part consistently, part after part, year after year. So once the customer approach, they do a lot of audit. First audit is just to come and see ki where are we and whether
right,
we have basic thing in place. Then they give the RFQ and then we develop the part. During that part development, again, they are involved to understand that we are developing the part and process in the right directions and the part will be as per their requirement and expectation. And lastly, once we develop parts, supply them, prepare plot, then again they visit for a system audit, quality audit, product audit, process audit. So this is a complete a partnership with the long-term approach where customer approach Gala and they also put a lot of efforts in time in validating the part, testing the part at their end. Same way, Gala also put a lot of effort in developing and testing this part. This is developed for the considering long term. So we have our own engineers. Approximately 20 engineers are there in R&D. We call a new product development or engineering, where start from the tool designing, tool manufacturing, product development, process development, where all this engineering goes from the day one with the input from the customer and with our Gala's so
mhm,
many years of experience we
right,
came out with some innovative ideas and improved process, improved product. This is how we develop, and that's how we able to penetrate not only India market but even in Europe
mhm,
market. And we are since year like for ABB since more than 50 years we are supplying them. Vesta more than 10 years we are supplying them. So this is a partnership and journey for the mid to long term.
right. So are we having technical collaborations? Is the technology in-house? Since you're dealing with German players, which are very high on quality.
No. So, basically, these all technology prima facie are developed by our own Indian brains with the leadership directions and guidance to this
Right,
team. Uh, Case to case basis, we do use the European universities or European institute for some product development or process development, or sometimes we use their facility to test and validate our parts, springs, like fatigue testings and different type of thing. Like we have a tie-up or we have a loose understanding association with the ARAI in India, Pune, where we do approach them for some particular support. But otherwise, we do all these in-house developments.
great. So I would like to ask Mr. Satish Kotwani about since he's dealing as a front end with all these customers, how the wallet shares are evolving. Are there more? Are we competing with global players or local players? Any names? And typically the industries might not be growing, but there's a large opportunity with respect to wallet share increase. So if you would like to highlight each category, and we are talking about fastening solutions also, so you can specifically highlight on fastening solutions as well.
Sure. So, Amit, as you rightly mentioned, the global markets have been growing 6-7% across all the product groups. Of course, India market has been growing between 7% for disc spring, 10% for coil spring, and 18% for fasteners. So, in general, our wallet share for niche products, where we have started with disc spring, is between 50 to 95, or in some customer, it is 100%. In coil springs, which is a newer business, we started about 8 years back. Our wallet share again is between 25-30% with customers like Schaeffler, and some customers where we have done great import substitute. Our wallet share has been 80-90%. In fasteners, which is a much larger market size, each customer buying is really very large. Just to give you an idea, when you're talking to a disc spring customer, their average buying is about 4-5 crores. And when we talk about coil spring customer, their average buying is approximately 15-20 crores. But for fasteners, when we are talking to wind turbine OEMs, their average buying is between 100 crores to 500 crores. So we are talking about 200 crores average buying of these customers. And positive is that as we initially start with India, we start with some SKUs. And for first 1 or 2 years, our market share or wallet share with these customers is between 5-7%. But as they get confidence on supply chain, they keep on adding more products. That is one area. Second, more important, they keep on adding more locations. So, of course, we start with India and then we go to the global level. So, for example, when we started with Vestas, it was 2-3 crore sales per year, and now we are talking about 40-50 crore sales with Vestas. So out of their total buying of 500 crores. So there's a great opportunity to grow with these customers, of course, in India, but as well as in the global locations for fasteners particularly.
Right. Great, great. So we'll take last two questions. I would like to ask Mr. Jalan about this, so I can understand 200 crore is the revenue. So you can highlight how the revenue has grown in past 3 years, and uh, will the major expansions happening in SFS only? I understand it is 18-19% of revenue currently. So you can highlight that, and will there be phase two, phase three capex? You can talk about the current land or the expansion which is happening, and what is the scope of expansion there. And yeah.
Yeah, basically last for 3 years after COVID, FY21, we were near 100 crore plus top line, and which because of our earlier years effort, even efforts in the COVID period where we developed a lot of market development, product development, we able to grow from 100 crore baseline to 200 crore plus in FY24, which is a CAGR of 25%.
Right.
Because of the fast growth in top line and continuous effort in cost reduction, semi-automation projects and all, we
Right.
able to improve our EBITDA, which now increased from 13-14% to now almost at 20% in FY24.
Great.
As far as the capex, we incurred a small capex in all the vertical, but mainly we incurred capex in fastener, where we saw the big market, fast growing market, and good opportunity. So in FY23, we touched the turnover of 26. FY24, we touched the turnover of 38, and now current year the growth rate is approximately 45% plus. That's how we targeting current year. As far as the capex is concerned, as far IPO point of view, what fund we are raising, the major fund we are deploying in the fastener only. Going forward, yes, because of the market size and the fast growth opportunity, what we are seeing, so the major capex will be deployed in the fastener division. As of now, considering the market size again and the opportunity Gala is having, we are seeing the more capex will come in maybe in FY27 for the future growth, what we will be
Right.
seeing.
Right. No, great, fantastic. So before I take closing remarks from Mr. Gala, I think it was fantastic to know about the company, and what I understood is that uh, dealing with the tier one customers across diversified sectors, including renewables, mobility, railways, 40% revenue coming from the exports. And on the top of it, everything in-house, so which is typical of being a precision engineering company, and I think a fantastic moat. And I think you talked about R&D, in-house R&D and technological developments. So fantastic to know all this. And on the top of it, I think the Chennai expansion. So I think SFS can be a game changer or a catalyst for growth for you guys in coming years. So fantastic, great. So Mr. Gala, would you like to give any closing remarks? So I understood the philosophy, our viewers understood the philosophy of the company from all of you guys. So any closing remark you would like to give, which I might.
Yeah, two things. So two things. One is we call ourselves professional entrepreneurs. So
Wow.
we are data-driven organization, but at the same time,
Yeah.
we have dynamic enough, to select what data needs to be selected and act accordingly.
Right.
I think one message I want to give is it's always a mix of entrepreneurship with a lot of professionalism, which brings results, brings extraordinary growth, and better prospects in future. That is one. Second, we are very strong on value system, which is very important for all of us as well as
Yeah.
for all future investors as well as the professionals which work with us. So you kind of, we are sincere, hardworking, transparent, straightforward, and we would love to be like that because we are committed to long-term value creation for our stakeholders and
Right.
genuinely and sincerely working towards that without any personal interest. So this is my final words to
No,
you.
no, great, fantastic. Good to know all of your thoughts. And thank you for sparing your time, Mr. Kirit Gala, Mr. Balakrishna Jalan, and Mr. Satish Kotwani. I wish you all the best, and thank you, viewers, for listening to us patience fully. I would see you in the next podcast. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Amit.
you, Amit.
Thank
Nice
you.
to talk to you.
Bye. Thanks.